You're right about that. The passenger was wearing a life jacket and was able to make it back to that jet ski. Unfortunately, the operator of the jet ski was not wearing a life vest at the time and has not resurfaced. If you look behind me, you can see this operation going on right now. Here's something to keep in mind this morning. A new warning before your next trip to the gas station. The security stickers, which are supposed to protect you from credit card skimmers, may actually be fake. James, we're talking about kids committing more crimes, specifically teenagers. In this case, the kids involved collectively have been arrested more than 120 times. Now take a look at this. This is some of the damage left behind following that serious wreck. This morning, a break-in a case after an Ybor City cook is brutally attacked and robbed. Tampa police officers charged 2 men connected to that assault. You know, this time of year, everybody has dreams of the Super Bowl, and this year is no different. The team hits the field here at 8:45 this morning. In fact, just about 5 minutes ago, I saw Jameis Winston drive right through those gates there, ready for action today. Stop what you're doing right now. You've got to check this out. You see this? Does this look familiar? Yeah, interesting. Some people in the studio. You see that? Drug bust in Germany. Very unusual. If you think those tablets resemble President Trump, you're right. And in other news this morning, breaking news going on right now in Pasco County. Detectives there investigating a homicide. Around 2:30 this morning, they say a driver flagged down a deputy on Embassy Boulevard after finding a body right in the middle of the road just east of Regency Park. Investigators first calling this a hit and run, now believe this is a homicide because of trauma to the body. The victim's name has not been released. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest updates as they come into the newsroom. You are right about that, Dia. This was a very tense and very dangerous situation. If you look behind me, right down the street here, you see that white minivan. They certainly are, Dia. And at some point today, deputies are expected to release more information on this case. In the meantime, family members of this young girl simply wondering who would do something like this. Here's a live look right now at radar of that storm. Hurricane Harvey made landfall in Texas last night, the first hurricane to hit that state in nearly a decade. The Confederate Monument debate is no longer just about statues like this one in downtown Bradenton. ESPN has decided to take an announcer off the University of Virginia's first football game of the season because he has the same name as a Confederate general. Robert Lee calls about, oh wow, you really have to feel for those folks right now. Oh my goodness. And I know you've been tracking kind of the path of the storm this morning, and there's the possibility of maybe it intensifying. 5% of Americans have at least one kid at home. About 65% have pets in the house. Now, everybody loves their kids and their pets, right? Or at least we hope you do. Yeah, they are devastated that that driver did not stop and help, instead hitting him near this intersection and simply driving off. Maybe you didn't see Monday's eclipse, or maybe you did and enjoyed it so much you're already thinking about the next one.
Well, we have great news for you because
tonight is the night for the big Mayweather versus McGregor fight, and even if you're not a boxing fan, it could possibly impact your Saturday evening plans. Now, everybody watching right now, you're invited to Lauren's house for the fight.
It's a big party.
It is. Just bring the chips. And if you're planning to go to the movies, though, developments throughout the morning simply unbelievable. Take a look at this. When we arrived, portions of this home still intact. Certainly not the case anymore. 2 homes literally falling into the sinkhole. 10 neighboring homes evacuated. Emergency crews going door to door, ensuring people in this neighborhood are okay. The call coming into emergency crews early this morning about a hole the size of a small swimming pool. However, it continues to grow. We spoke with the devastated homeowners.
It's emotional. I mean, what can you say? I mean, you wouldn't wish this on anyone, especially our neighbors. You know, I mean, what can we do now, you know?
I spoke with the local fire chief. He tells me in 23 years of work, he has never seen anything like this. Several families are being helped out by the Red Cross today. It did not, Lauren, unfortunately. You know, this is a pretty sad story. This family simply can't understand why anyone would do something like this. In fact, they had no idea how serious the injuries were until they brought the dog here.
Somebody's sick, you know, and just, I don't know who could look at his face and pull a trigger.
Jennifer Grove, along with her family, heartbroken over the loss of their 1-year-old Shepherd mix, Radar.
Dogs get out all the time, and you don't expect a, you know, find them shot.
Unfortunately, that was the case. Grove tells us radar slipped through the family's fence Thursday. A neighbor found the dog the next day. Initially, it was thought the dog was hit by a car. Turns out he was shot in the neck with major damage to his spinal cord. The family was forced to put him down.
It doesn't make sense. We just want to know who did it, and we want him convicted.
And this morning, the family is offering $300 for any sort of information on this case. Of course, we'll keep you posted on what investigators find. For now, reporting live in Tarpon Springs, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. James, they are looking into that this morning. Since this guy was arrested, at least one family has come forward saying that he was seen near their child. Take a look at this mugshot. 63-year-old Dale Collins locked up after the incident Sunday. A group of young girls here outside this Haines City Publix collecting donations for their cheerleading squad. The 7-year-old's mother heard Collins trying to lure the child away, promising her a puppy to keep her attention.
At this time, I'm stunned. I don't know what to do.
He got in his camper and drove off once Stacy Bray and other adults in the area discovered what was happening. She describes for us the fear of going through something like this.
You could be the best parent in the world, and if the right person comes along, your kid could still walk away with that person for the right thing.
Collins was tracked down and arrested by police a short time later. This morning, the investigation focusing on other children possibly approached. And today, Haines City Police, they are urging parents to come forward if they believe Collins may have been near their kids. Of course, we'll keep you posted on what they find. For now, reporting live in Haines City, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Well, that's right, James, but let me tell you this. A number of the fans that we spoke with this morning, not only thinking about a division title, but many of these folks believe Super Bowl. Excitement bubbling over at One Buck Place.
Go Bucks!
Day one of training camp open to the public. Expectations for this year's team, limitless.
Right now, optimism is high, always, right? First day.
Personally, this is honestly the best I've seen the Bucks so far.
Bucks training camp also getting a national spotlight, set to be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks. After last year's 9-7 run, those here looking forward to big things ahead.
Fifth-year season ticket holder, and I just can't wait for the season to start.
And today's practice, one of 13 which will be open to the public. Not only are these sessions free, but parking as well. For all the information you need to know about this year's spring training camp, you can always go to abcactionnews.com. For now, reporting live at One Buck Place, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News.